The first thing that I want to do is I want to take my phone and I can connect my phone's camera to helmut.cloud. And helmut.cloud is going to essentially take care of the entire orchestration process. It's going to do some amazing things. So let's start. So I'm going to point my camera to your badge and I want to send this to helmut.cloud. So the first thing that I want to show and share is that we are basically able to orchestrate a planning tool. So for the demo, we're using FrySpace, which is from a German startup. So in FrySpace, I can see that helmut.cloud created a project with your first name and last name. But we said, hey, we have to do more. So everyone is using Frame.io these days. So we went to Frame.io and we did exactly the same. So if I refresh my screen here and I look for the newest project, I have a project with your first name and last name, and I created a folder automatically out of my phone's camera. But we said, this is not enough. Now let's connect helmut.cloud to other tools. So if I go to my task management tool, which is ClickUp, I can see that I have a task in ClickUp. It shows my name and it says that I scan your badge using my iPhone. And then it has a link to the FrySpace project I created. It has a link to the Frame.io project, and it has a link to helmut.4, which now kind of like explains that helmut.cloud lives in the cloud and can connect everything that happens, within your post-production environment, where helmut.4 is the post-production orchestrator. If I head over to helmut.4, I will see that I have a project that was created automatically. So I have my Premiere project, my folder structure, and I have something pretty interesting. If I look at the project metadata here, I have all of the connections between Frame.io and Premiere already pre-established, so I don't have to do that. The helmut.cloud took care of all of that on my behalf. So the last thing is that we are also showcasing Volcano, which is a tool that we have, MoovIT, developed, which essentially what we do is we take a motion graphic template, we take your first name, last name, and your company, and we render a graphic on the fly, and we send that graphic to Telegram. So let me show you how that looks. So we have a lower third, and if I open up my computer, you can see that I have a lower third with your first name, last name, and company. And all of that out of my phone's camera. Now, it's time to open up the project in helmut.4. So helmut.4 is going to open up Premiere, and as soon as my project is open, I have access to the lower thirds that we generated in Volcano. So everything is, being orchestrated and everything is under the same context. So now let me just remove these assets that I have in here, my timeline, and just drag and drop the lower third that I just created, and let's set the right properties. And now it's time to export my video. So now helmut.4 is going to export the video to Frame.io. And this is going to take a second, so we're going to hand over the process to helmut.io. Helmut.io is going to take care of rendering the asset using the right name, right destination, and right EPR. And once the process is done, we're going to upload the asset to Frame.io. So if I go over to Frame.io, I can see that I have a new asset in here. And once the asset is fully loaded, I have access to the asset that I just exported from Premiere. Now what I want to show is that if I add a comment, I'll just say like demo, and I click send, now helmut.cloud is going to receive this information from Frame.io, and it's going to forward this event back to helmut.4. So now I have the perfect sync between my cloud tools and my on-prem tools. So if I expand this folder and I open up the video that I just exported into Frame.io, I can see the comment saying demo. Now let's think about another scenario, which is actually really interesting, is how can I extend a tool like Frame.io to do way more than this? Let's pretend that I'm a reviewer, and at 5 a.m. I want to approve these assets. And what I want to do is just to action something whenever I approve. I don't want to send just an email. I want to do something way more useful, which is I want to render the asset and send the assets to the right destination. So whenever I go to the asset status and I set the asset status to approved, what's going to happen is that my media encoder is going to receive that notification, is going to render out the video, and is going to send the video to the right destination using the right name and the right EPR. So with that, We just combine helmut.cloud and helmut.4 in a unique way, where we extend everything that happens in the cloud, we bring it on-prem, and everything that happens on-prem, we can send it over to the cloud. So we have the perfect round trip between cloud applications and on-prem applications.